You are good to go, sir.
Hey guys, I'm Brian Blazer. It's my daughter Brooklyn. And I'm going to introduce you to a couple of our products. We have the Flycatcher Birdhouse, which helps eliminate the flies in your pasture around your yard. And the way this works, it's a special birdhouse. It's bigger than a bluebird house, and it attracts the tree swallows and flycatchers. We have 20 species of flycatcher birds that live in the United States, and then we have the tree swallows, and they all use this type house. It's a little bit bigger than a bluebird house, and the reason there's a perch on top is because the birds like to sit up and look out at the pasture or wherever to see the flies, especially if you have like a cattle pasture, horses. They see the horse flies and deer flies that are biting your livestock. They look from here, and then they fly out and catch them and come back and sit here. And you have to have this special adapter on the bottom. This is a T-post adapter, and that's to face your birdhouse the right direction. If your house is facing to the west, the direction the weather comes from, the birds don't like a house that faces west. You got to face it to the direction of the sunrise, to the east, and then it'll attract the birds. So they need a special house. It's easy to clean out. It has a little door right here to clean it out in between nesting. It has a little slide-in bottom here, a metal bottom, that keeps it nice and clean. But most importantly, there's little grooves inside here on the wall, and that's for the baby birds to get out. If it's real slick inside, the babies can't get out. So there's little baby steps there, and that allows the baby swallows to get out. Now, when they start feeding, a tree swallow or a flycatcher eats about 2,000 biting insects a day. It could be mosquitoes, it could be biting flies, but if you got a pair of birds, you're talking about 4,000 flies a day. But when they feed their babies, the babies eat a lot, that's another 6,000 flies a day. So one pair of birds can eliminate 10,000 flies from a small area. You can put these as close together as every 100 feet, but they like to be out in the open, away from trees and bushes. If you put this by the bushes, you know the rat snake might come up the bushes and get the baby birds, so the birds like it out in the open. So you get it out in the open. If you don't have a T-post that you want to put it on, you can use the little metal adapters that come with it to screw it to a wooden post. Some people don't have T-posts in their yard, they just have a wooden fence. And the little adapters are like this, and they come with the house, and you can screw it into the post and then into the bottom of your house, and you can mount them with this, or you can mount it on the back, any way you want to fix it. And there's instructions inside that tell which direction to face it and how to adapt it to the different posts. But in the right location, this house can eliminate 10,000 flies a day from your pasture. So a few of them can really eliminate your fly problem. So that's why we designed this special house. All of our bird houses, including our bluebird houses, and we have several models of bluebird house, come with the same adapters for the T-posts, because they also like a house that faces the east. And some people like to mount them to a wooden post. The bluebird houses that don't have the perch on top, and they have a little hanger in the back so they can be hung on a tree or a barn or a wall also. So there's a couple different adapters for those. But that's the tree swallow house. And the bluebird houses are just a little size smaller. And these are the carpenter bee traps. And the carpenter bee traps, the way they work, you know what carpenter bees are. They come around your building. You want to put them out on the sunny side on the corner of the peak. And when the bees come around your building, they go in this hole thinking it's a good place to nest. The holes are at an upward angle because carpenter bees always drill an upward hole to keep the weather out of their hole. When the bee goes up in here, it's hollow inside, he wants to leave, he flies to the light like the fly goes to the window, and that's the bigger hole in the bottom. So he traps himself with his little bee mind, and then he sits here fighting the glass. Instead of flying up and out, he's trapped inside and he dies in here. Once he dies inside, he is the bait for more bees, because carpenter bees only live about a year, and then their little exoskeleton wears out. And when they die in those holes up in your house, the bees who come around smell the dead bees, and they go in there to clean them out so they can reuse it. So when you have dead bees in your bee trap, the bees all smell it and say, oh, that's the place, because we can just clean it out. We don't have to drill a hole, and it works like a bee magnet. It eliminates the bees. The reason you should treat the holes on your house, if you hang this up and it's not working, there's bees buzzing all around, you go, what's going on? It's because the female has a hole there, she drills a hole, and the male has a little yellow dot on his head. He hovers out front chasing everybody away from his girl. You hang your trap, he's chasing everybody away from your trap too. But if you treat those holes and get rid of the ones right there where your trap is, then your trap can be effective. And so to treat the holes, we have a bee butter solution. It has enzymes in there, like the enzymes in your stomach digest your food. It's mixed with a grease, and when the bee touches it, he can't wipe it off himself, and the enzymes eat up his little exoskeleton. He just kind of comes apart. So putting a little dab of this in each hole, the bees fall out like rain. We call it a sticky trap because it traps him inside his own exoskeleton. But one of these tubes will treat about 100 holes, and in the hole it lasts for over a year. So if you put a little dab in there, even if it's 6 months from now, a bee tries to use that hole, he's going to fall out. If you're on the ground and you don't want to climb up a ladder, this has a little tube on the end. You cut the tip off and squeeze a little bit in each hole. If you don't want to get on a ladder, you can tape a little paintbrush or something on the end of a long pole. Put a little dab on that brush and sit on the ground and just put a little dab in each hole so you don't have to get close to the holes, and you can treat them from the ground with the bee butter. But the carpenter bee traps, are very effective. They like the sunny side of the building and put them out in the corners and the peaks. And when it gets full, you can just dump it out. But remember, if it's half full,
some, though, right?
Excuse me?
You want to leave some to
Yeah.
the others, though, right?
But once you get this thing full, the wood is all going to smell like the dead bees because they've been in there. And pretty soon, the whole thing just smells like a bee magnet, right? It's going to work. But if it's not completely full, you can just leave it from year to year. Leave the bees in there, because they kind of pack each other down in there. One little jar holds a couple hundred carpenter bees.
Wow.
And we've had them fill right up. I want to give everybody a birdhouse and a bee trap too today. And I want to know if you have any questions about the products, if there's any way I can help you with.
The string, is that what you use to hang it?
Yes, ma'am. There's 2 hangers here. There's one right here to hang it flush mount. But in here, this comes with a little string and a little screw. In the top of the house right here, you see that little dent? You put that screw in there and you can actually screw that right in with your fingers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you
You
can
just hang
hang
it
it.
from a tree limb.
Oh.
And you just hang it with this string right here. You put this string through the hole.
And then you just hang it. Cool. Yeah. That's easy for me because I'll be up there and fill
You hang it just like that.
Tree on the ground, me on the ground.
Every one of them has a hanger for the top, and they also have a hanger for the back here to flush mount it.
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay? But just hang that out on the corner of the peak. And we made all different styles. That way, whatever style you have, we have little barns, churches.
Yeah.
You might see in the catalog, we have a lot of different carpenter bee traps because everybody has a little different style, right?
Yeah.
So we want you to be able to pick out the one you like.
Oh, yeah, that's
Right? But that's how they work. And anyway, the tree swallow houses are right here. I have a free one for each of you.
Yeah.
And they make a great gift if you don't have a bad fly problem. But everybody seems to not like flies
Yeah,
too
that's
much.
not gonna be an issue.
Yeah, thank you.
Do other
Thank
birds fight for these spots?
You can end up with a different type of songbird in your bluebird, in your tree swallow house, like a bluebird. We have bluebird houses too. And the bluebird houses actually attract many types of songbird. So you might have bluebirds in there, you might have some other little bird in there, But anyway, let me give everybody a carpenter bee trap too.
I have a pair of morning gloves.
Yeah.
You're so welcome.
They make them on Sundays.
Yeah, we were too. That's why I said, yeah.
Thank you.
This is one up.
So making this in my hand, it's like, oh, look at that design. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's